Hey guys, welcome back. It's Igor, and today we're going to be talking about what items you should carry in your car with you in case of an emergency. Now, most cars will come with the default stuff such as your spare tire, your jack, and the tools needed to take that tire off. However, some of the other stuff that you should have and not necessarily do in most cases would be stuff like the first aid kit. A lot of them can be purchased at stores for anywhere between $20 to $30, $40 depending on what comes within the kit, and it's a good idea to have in case of an accident, in case you see somebody in danger or in need of help. Probably aside from your spare tire, the next thing you should get if you don't already have something. Aside from the first aid kit, some of the other things that I carry in my car usually are straps in case you need to strap something down. So being something breaks, you have to strap it up, or if you buy a large item, you want to keep your trunk secured if you can't close it, or if you have to put something on the roof rack, straps are always a great idea to have. And I've also used my straps a couple of times in cases where I needed to pull somebody out. I didn't have my tow rope at the time with me. The straps work just fine if used correctly. So another thing that I do carry with me, because I live in Canada and we do get some inclement weather here, especially in the coming months where winter is approaching, is a snow brush as well as an ice scraper. Often you can get the same thing in one tool, so ice scraper on one side, snow brush on the other side. If not, you can get two separate tools. However, it is a good recommendation to have. In addition to, you can always get small shovels. They're very useful if you get stuck in snow, or if somebody else is stuck, to pull that snow from underneath of the car out, dig a small section out so you can get a running start to pull the vehicle out, or have somebody drive out. These shovels can be, I'm not saying get a big shovel you can dig a trench with, even like a small shovel, a toy shovel will do essentially. It just helps getting the snow out so you don't have to use your hands. If you don't have a shovel and you do get stuck, some option you can do is actually use your snow brush to pull the snow out. It is an option. In addition to that, often people carry sand or salt. You can put a small 5 kilo bag in the trunk. Yes, it's going to affect your fuel consumption, but if you get stuck, it comes in very handy. If you don't carry these things and something does go wrong, you do get stuck, you don't have a shovel, you need to get a bit of traction, you could also actually use your floor mat. So what often you do is you flip the floor mat upside down, you wedge it under your front wheels if it's a front-wheel drive car, or rear wheels if it's a rear-wheel drive car, and it might be just enough to get you going. My other recommendation would be to use, to have booster cables. You can either get a jump from somebody else if your battery doesn't start, if somebody else has an issue, or alternately, what's actually a really popular item lately are booster packs with lithium-ion batteries. And these booster packs are very small lately, so I'm not talking about the big giant ones they have to plug into a wall and charge it for 12 hours. I'm talking small booster packs that are about the size of the new iPhone. So they're usually no bigger than a, say, like 3 or 4 CD cases, or for some of the older people, a VHS tape. And actually, these actually do serve multiple purposes. They often use USB ports on it. You can charge your phone if you need to. You can jumpstart a car. Some of them actually jumpstart a car a dozen times off this little small booster pack. And the nice part is a lot of them will plug into your 12-volt outlet in your car, so you can leave it plugged in. It's charging. If ever you need it, it's charged. So it's just a matter of jumping it, putting on your battery or your boost terminals, and you should be able to start your car if needed that way. Another thing that I tend to carry with me are simple things to help you out, especially at night, or in cases where it gets dark early, are a flashlight. It'll help you see, even if it's in the summer, if you're looking at something underneath the car, it can help you see if something is wrong, if you're checking for something. If you're stuck in the middle of the road at night, you can light up your way if your battery's in the car completely dead, or who knows what reason. Flashlight is always a good idea to have. Winter's again upon us. In addition to the flashlight, I recommend having a blanket. So you can get a thermal blanket. They usually wrap or package really small, but if needed to keep you warm until help arrives, it's a very good thing to have in the car. Roll it up, put it somewhere in the trunk. You don't have to use it unless you need it. So flashlight, blanket. Also, in case of breakdowns at night, another thing that helps is flares. You can set them out, say 20 feet apart behind your car, so if a vehicle is coming at night, they might not see you on the last minute, especially if the weather's bad. If you light the flares, you'll warn them that something is up ahead. Or even just using a safety reflective triangle. Pop it up on the road. Some cars may or may not come with it already. In addition to the safety triangle and the flares, I also recommend using a reflective vest. So if you do break down at night, you can put the vest on. It'll reflect you in case a vehicle is approaching you in the dark. You're more likely to be seen with it than without it. Essentially, it might save your life if somebody sees you coming. If a car sees you coming, they can sometimes avoid you. The really big thing is trucks, especially large transport trucks. They can't slow down or stop quickly. So the sooner they see you, the better chances they have of either stopping, slowing down, switching lanes, and avoiding you and possibly hurting you. Some of the other things that I carry with me that are nice to have is a portable air compressor. In case your tire is low on air, you can put air in it before you can get to a gas station, especially if you're in a remote area. You can put some air in until you get to a service shop or a gas station or a safe place where you can actually change your tire. As well as I carry a tire patch kit, and these kits are usually $5 or $6. They usually come with a few plugs and the tools needed to patch your tires. So if, let's say, you have a screw in your tire, it's the weekend or it's a holiday, everything is closed, you can use the tools and the instructions that come with them to patch your tires. So take the screw out, put the plug in, and if done correctly, you can actually patch your tire on the car in some cases. Or if you have to take it off, it only takes a few minutes. And because we're in a day and age where most people carry cell phones or smartphones with them now, another item that's really convenient to have, and it's a good idea to have, is cell phone chargers. If you are stuck on the road, if you are calling for help, if you are low on signal, often for cell phones, the lower on signal you are or the lower the reception is, they'll use up your battery more. By having a cell phone charger, you can plug it in your car, providing your battery is not dead, and you can charge your phone so you can call for help. Another example of a good thing to carry is your owner's manual. Often near the back, it'll include diagrams such as those for different fuses or relays in case you have an issue. So in this case, it'll give me the full fuse diagram, what the fuse is for, as well as how big of a fuse it should go in. And often, if you just have a blown fuse, you can easily just change it on the side of the road. I do also carry with me a small pack of universal fuses. So most fuses are same size. Vehicles either have the standard or the minis. And in this pack, they come in various amperages. So 5 amps, 10, 20, 25, 30. Also, since I'm talking about tools, I do carry a small tool set with me, as well as my code scanner, just in case. I also do carry hand sanitizer and paper towel with me, just in case I need to clean my hands from something. So if, let's say, something does go wrong, my hands are dirty, I can quickly and easily clean them until I get to a place where I can wash them correctly. It is also a good idea to carry an umbrella with you, just in case heavy rain, you want to stay dry as possible. It's a really nice tool to grab until you figure out what you need from your trunk. And typically I just keep this in my door pocket. It's also a good idea to keep extra washer fluid with you. I would also highly recommend a dash cam camera. So mine mounts in just to the back of my rear view mirror. And as you can see here, it's always rolling. And essentially, if ever there is danger, it'll record it. So not necessarily for sake of police. However, in many cases, in case of insurance, this footage can actually help you out in case of an accident, in case something happens. You do have video proof of what happened in front of you, and it's not just your words against somebody else's words. As you guys can see, most of these items can, like the whole kit that you might need, you could actually get most of it for about $100 or so. And it's a good peace of mind to have. If you switch vehicles, you move it from one car to another, or if you have multiple vehicles, buy one for each of the cars. I You can, if you do only drive one car at a time, keep it in like a duffel bag and just move the bag from trunk to trunk, if you remember. But ultimately, it's a small price to pay up front to possibly save in the future. Now, you might say, oh, it's only good if you have an old car, if you break down. New cars break down, a fuse can blow anytime, you can have a flat anywhere on the road. It's a lot quicker if you have the tools and the equipment prepared to get yourself out of trouble and out of danger than necessarily to have to wait for AAA, CAA, or roadside assistance to come and help you out, or if you're waiting for a tow truck. So in this case, at least you're prepared until that happens. If you're in the city, most of the time a tow truck will be there, let's say within a half an hour, 40 minutes. If you're between cities in middle of nowhere, you could be waiting a couple hours or longer for a tow truck or assistance or help. Depending on your circumstance, you may not need the entire kit. If you only drive a vehicle in city to work and back, such as I do with this one, you might not need everything that you would normally keep in a vehicle that you normally use for road trips. So again, prepare your kit accordingly to what your needs are. Here, these were just some of the suggestions I'd have for you to keep, or some of the items you might not think about having, to just help you out in the future. And once again, thank you for watching. If you liked what you've seen, feel free to subscribe, like this video, share, and there's more to come. Thank you guys.